You want to know one of the things I love about this game? I mean, there's a lot of things I like, but one of the really cool things I like about this game, when it comes to like the attention to detail and everything, they absolutely did not have to animate the tunnel boring machine while it was underground. While it was underground doing its thing. They didn't have to do that, in my opinion. They could have just said, okay, it's underground. It's boring the tunnel. You know, maybe it moves, you know, as the tunnel moves, but it didn't need to spin, okay? But it's a really cool thing that they made it happen. I just think that's awesome. So I just wanted to bring that up and say, hey, look, guys, the tunnel boring machine, it's doing things underground, all right? Making things happen. Gotta love it. Another thing that's happening, we just got some more medical research done. I am cranking out the medical research as fast as I can here. I think we're going to go with alcohol standards, guidelines and standards for alcohol. In result, we expecting less negative affection of alcohol to citizens' health. Sounds like a good thing. Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. We have been breaking down, or trying to clear, I guess, the medium farm, and we need to build it again. So now this becomes a new high priority construction project for everybody to get back and doing so that we can get back to farming. But we're going to take this opportunity, I think, because since we're not working these fields right now anyway, I think we take this opportunity to get this rail started, to get this going, to get it out there towards the farms, okay? So what I'm going to do is we're going to start breaking down all the fields and the roads that are in the way of me making this track go straight. So that's this one and this one, all these roads here. This one's going to go and this one's going to go. That opens me up to a nice straight area to work with, okay? So I don't have to worry about it anymore. So we're going to take the electric track and we're going to come all the way out this way, and it says there's things in the way. Well, that's because we have to actually break down the fields, don't we? Yes, there's a very small amount of mixed waste in these fields. Of course there is. Oh, come on. You guys. Just leave the fertilizer where it is. This one did it. It's just gone. But these two, you have to do some kind of deconstruction on them. That sucks. Turn these on. Just get these guys out here to do this. All right. Yeah, there you go. Auto search that shit. Right here. High priority. Get this out of my way. This one's done too. All right. So what I want to do, right, as obviously we need to get the this electric train track to go out this way. We want to go all the way out this way and connect to this. Now it looks to me like there's a little bit of a curve going on here, and I didn't really want that. I wanted it to be nice and straight, but if we have to have a small curve with it, then we have to have a small curve with it. And it does matter which direction you drag this to get the posts to be on the proper side. So we want to make sure that we get those posts on the proper side. So it's always on the left side of my mouse as I drag it. And so when we go this way, we're going to want to go from that side. It looks to me like that's always going to happen unless I drag it towards me. That's what it's looking to me like anyway. I don't want it to happen. Drag it towards me this way, and then it's that way. Yeah, so I want to make sure that these are all on the right side. Now, maybe that will correct itself as we connect it, but I am seeing it doing that, and I just want to make sure it's not doing that. So like I have them on the right side here, and so let's continue on with that. But if I start here on this side, let's say, and I drag it this way, that's be good. But if I drag it this side, it goes on the other side. It's a little bit weird, so I have to make sure we do this. So that looks like it's cleared now. We got all that done, so let's just go ahead and get rid of this. Now, while we're doing this, while they're building this, there's something else we need to do now, right? Let's head over here. Got a lot of hazardous waste here, right? As you know, and the more hazardous waste we get here, the more pollution is going to build up. And it's starting to get yellow, right? But it's not going to the homes, not going to the houses. Very important that it doesn't go to the houses. And you can see our pollution problems do not extend into our homes, at least until we get over here. And then it's like starting to get a little yellow there, but we have medical research to help us be more resistant to it, which is great. There's barely any fuel left in this, so I think I'm going to go ahead and demolish this video too, and get a bigger one going. But the other thing I want to do, right, is get the hazardous waste treatment plant operational. So just wanted to walk you through some of the things that have finished. These homes are done. We have room for even more people. Now we're up to 14,278 citizens with a 4% unemployment rate, and that's due to no workplace. Fantastic. We can put you to work over here, and I'm willing to bet you they're all right there. Yes, they are waiting. So I went ahead and purchased some buses. I've got these 3 buses, and I can totally get some more, but I'm wanting these to kind of trickle in as they do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the stop. We're going to have you go to this bus stop, load up the workers, and we're going to have you take the workers over to the other bus stop, which is right... Where'd it go? It's over here somewhere, right there. All right, you're going to unload everybody here, all right? We're going to take that route and apply it to you 3 as well, all right? Now, we're going to want to get more buses, all right? We're going to want to get even more... Here, do this. Even more buses be on this line. We need a lot of people on this line. So this line, now that we got them out of here, I can go ahead and buy some more. Those buses are the Chav B13s. And I want to keep them all the same if I can. So the Chav B13s. 1, 2, 3. Right? So 3 more buses coming in here. We're going to add this, I think, as a stop. But we're going to do so... well, we can just do it now because we're going to add it. Yeah, we're going to do it later anyway. So let's just add this as a stop so they'll stay spaced out. Okay? Now, when the other buses come in here and they get here, then we'll go ahead and apply this line to those buses too. In the meantime, take a look at what's going to happen over here. All the workers are going to spread out amongst the initial processing buildings, okay? We're not doing the advanced processing buildings. We're doing the initial processing buildings, including plastic, because we have this building up. So what I want to see now is this processing. So let's just take a quick look at what's going on right here while we can. I really wish I could get rid of the orphanage's notification. Is there like is there a setting for that? Like just specifically the orphanages? Yeah, notification for orphanage. Just get that out of here. I don't want to see that anymore. Let's make sure we don't have anything critical here. Research, computers, epidemic. Oh, diseases causing citizens severe health complications. All right, so we have an epidemic to deal with now. That's okay. We're going to do some research about vaccinations later, too. All right. So they're going in here. They're processing the hazardous waste now. So that's getting pulled in from here. It's really nice timing that this thing went down right as we are going to turn this on, because then we can actually have hazardous waste to process. We can see how it works. It does mean, of course, that we have more chemicals to do. Now, the mixed waste goes into here. Right? So that's getting fed into here. And then this is pulling it in. All right, the first thing this is doing is pulling it in, and we're going to process all this mixed waste. We're going to get metal scrap out of this, and we're going to see metal scrap being flooded into here, hopefully, is what we're going to see. Now, if there isn't any metal scrap in that waste, then we won't see it, but we are seeing metal scrap accumulating in here, so that's good. Now, if there's no metal scrap in this waste, it then comes to here, where mixed waste builds up here, and you can see that some of this is biological, burnable, other, etc. The waste then goes to the aluminum separation, which we're just going to say has like 1 person working there, because we know there's not really anything for aluminum separation. It's going to come in here, it'll get processed, and then kicked out to here where it's mixed waste, which is slowly doing right now. That mixed waste then gets pulled into general separation, where it then gets processed for the remainder of everything that it has. This kicks out here. Now, this is my problem, right? Is what are we going to do with this? This is normally where we would burn it, right? But I'm not burning it. I don't have the stuff here. So we're going to need to get a train moving in here to take this out of here. And that's going to be a fairly slow load. I've been told it's a very slow load. We might need to work on trucks with this. And if that's the case, then what we'll need to do is swap this out for one that has the claw arms. And we can process as much as we can up to where this fills up in order to do that. So we'll have to look at that later. I'm very confident that this is going to be a bottleneck for us, and we're going to have to adjust that. But I wanted to show you that it is working. We are getting mixed waste that's burnable into the spot. We also get plastic waste popped into here, and then it gets processed here into a plastic recycling, which then gets kicked out into this. Now, we could limit this warehouse, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let it put in whatever it wants here, because I want to have as much plastic as possible here. And it means that if we're going to get plastic here, we no longer need the border to buy plastic for us. So I'm going to go over here, and if they're doing it already, it doesn't look like they are, so it must be the other office that's doing this. So there is an office, I believe, right over here, supplying the plastic for this place. Yes, here. So we're not gonna go to the border for plastic anymore. Is this where we're getting it? Well, we're getting it from someplace. I don't know where we're getting it. Here, let's take a look. If I look at you, all right. So there's some truck routes going on here. Different distribution offices, and you have not been told to buy plastic, so you're not getting it from there. Okay, what about this one? Are you buying plastic? You're loading it from the warehouse. From this warehouse, yes. So are you buying it from the border, though? Large customs house. You're not buying it from the border. Okay. You're buying only aluminum from the border. Okay. Well, somebody's doing plastic. I think it's a dedicated truck. Actually, I think it's a dedicated truck doing this. Let me go down to... Okay, what's the deal here? We don't have much in there, so I think maybe it's getting fixed. One of you guys is doing this. I'm going to find it. One of these guys is doing it. There's plastics being brought here. Maybe it's this truck. Okay, found the truck. You're buying plastic. I don't want you to do that anymore. You don't need to load plastic anymore from this. All right, from the border. Just the other stuff. So what you're doing is you're making rounds, right? You're just coming to here. And then one of you guys is taking it from this and bringing it over there, so wherever it's needed. So we're not going to do that anymore. Instead, we're going to have you... is it plastic stored here? Yeah, 10 tons. We're going to have this office connect with this warehouse here. And you know what? You don't even need to do so like this because that's going to require you to go all the way around. So instead, you're just going to go here. And from this, you will load plastic. All right, good. That'll get us to making a route to go get the plastic and bring it over to warehouse 2. Warehouse 2. Warehouse 3. Where's warehouse 2? All right, hold on. Are you not loading this warehouse? I don't think you're... I think you pick things up from it, but you're not loading it. So this is warehouse 4. Yes, I want you to unload plastic here, but you're also being told to load plastic here. So there's something else I got to do with the routing on plastic. We're going to have to look at it. But either way, you're going to load plastic from here now, and that's going to be our source. And you get it from this. So you don't have to go all the way around to get into this road. You just pull in here, which pulls it from that warehouse, and then you end up loaded up with plastic. So, or in this case, 0.31 tons because you're a tiny ass truck, but it is what it is. The point is we are processing waste now. Okay. That's where I wanted to go with this. We're processing waste and we're going to finally start getting this running. And now I need to do something else with this. So let's go in to these buses that are right here. We're going to add this route to these buses too. All right. So go ahead, and go ahead. All right, there you go. So all these buses are going to pull all these wonderful workers from this bus stop and bring them in so that they can work into here. And then I just regulate where they work by determining where they're allowed to go in the bus stop here. Now, we do have a steel recycling place, and that steel recycling place has plenty of metal scrap to bring in. So it stands to reason that I should be able to also get people working in steel recycling. And maybe we can bring this down to like, say, 15 people. Okay. So you can work there too. There's really not a reason to have the aluminum recycling plant running at the moment, so we're not going to do that because there's really no aluminum scrap yet. But as we start scrapping vehicles or helicopters or whatever, we start scrapping other things, we'll get aluminum scrap brought in and we can create stuff like that. Now, inevitably, I'm going to get the question of, hey, why don't you just import scrap and make it into something? Isn't it cheaper? Okay, so we've looked at this in the past, but maybe we didn't look at it in depth. But it's really like, okay, technically it's good in the sense that you don't pay as much for the resource, but you're going to consume power, you're going to consume labor, you're going to create waste, which you have to process again. It's not worth it, is what I'm saying. It's not worth it to, like, say, buy metal scrap and bring it in and process it into steel. If you have everything running anyway, maybe, because like you're already exerting those resources. Maybe. But generally, because of the pricing in your market, every game is a little bit different with the pricings. So if I take a look at the economy here, right here, yep. Every game, every save is a little bit different on these prices. But in general, it's not going to be worth it. So metal scrap, for example, we bring this in for 376 per ton. All right. And you might think 376 per ton. Hey, that's way better than, 758 per ton for steel. And yeah, you'd be right if it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but it isn't. You're going to consume 36 tons of metal scrap and you're going to get 19 tons of steel. Is it technically cheaper to buy 36 tons of metal scrap than it is to buy 19 tons of steel? Yeah. But it's not like a magnificent thing that you've just done. Okay, it's not a super impressive thing. And it's like this with basically every resource. It's balanced a little bit there. I like that. What you do get really good value out of, though, and we need this facility operational in order to show you this, what you do get really good value out of, though, is in buying really used vehicles of things that are way worn down, that are very cheap. So in this case, this is 225 tons in a train set. It's going to cost me 65,000 rubles. The thing is 26 years old. It is 91% wear and tear. This train is basically destroyed. Okay, you don't want to buy this to use it, but you can scrap this, and getting nearly 200 tons of steel out of this, most likely, maybe a little over 200 tons of steel out of this for 65,000 rubles. Now we're talking. Now we might have value in this, right? As long as your scrapyard's running anyway. This is still not the best deal, though. The track builder that we got before, that was a really good deal. Here, I'll show you. The damn thing. The tunnel boring machine. All right? When we bought this thing, it was quite cheap, right? Very cheap. And it's 510 tons. And this thing is basically all steel. So if you can buy 500 tons of steel for 100 grand, now we're talking. Now you're really getting stuff. And you can actually extract all that steel and resell it, right? Then you're starting to get profitable there. But you got to be picky about what you're buying. So, yeah. There you go. We got 50 prisoners in this now, which is pretty sweet. And a good steady source of workers here. We are no longer... I think there was only one bus, actually, that is. So I can't say we're no longer. There's this little tiny car that's 7. Okay, so this little microbus is still coming from the border over there to bring them to coal, I guess. But for the most part, all the labor here is Cernakova labor now, coming in on the cableway station, all right, for the most part. And also prisoners coming in on the prison buses, which has a constant, there's 3 buses that are just going back and forth, constantly bringing people in here to work, because we have enough prisoners to do that. Just 7 prisoners over and over again, bringing them in here for a nice steady supply of coal. If I look over here, still very full. Everything's very full. So we're good to go here. And I could potentially turn on another coal power plant later. So I'll have to look at that. I wanted to look at also this. So there's our fire station. We want to make sure we have good fire coverage. Let's go ahead and buy a few vehicles. We'll take 80 kilometers, 90 kilometers, but it's really small. What I really want to buy is one of these. So MI-10s, and I think maybe there's a used one. If we can find a used one, that'd be great, because they have a really big water bucket. We could buy the cargo ones too. It's not a big deal. But if I can buy a used 5 years old, that's not bad. It's significantly cheaper. It's almost half price, actually. That's a pretty good helicopter for this. Half price. These two are usually the same. Same price, and these are like 300 and what do you see, 380,000 right now, right? So I think that's pretty good. We get like half off, and we fix it up right over here. I like it. We'll fix it up here on this pad, and then it'll be turned into a fire helicopter. That's good. So we'll do that. What about any type of like sky crane or something? Can we get one of those? Yeah, that's a pretty good discount too. Also 5 years old. Not bad. We could buy one of these and fix it up too. We don't have enough money though. We're actually down to 28 grand now for dollars. So, I mean, probably not going to use dollars for hardly anything for a little while anyway. There is a city planned. I've said it like 8 episodes now, but people always ask. There's a city planned over here, okay? There is. It's just not useful yet. Like, there's no reason to do it yet. Until we're set up with steel running and all this stuff is functional, And then we start getting our town over here, and then additional steel production over here, along with other types of processing, nuclear power. I still haven't decided exactly where that nuclear power is going to be, but I'm kind of leaning towards putting it over here. Because we can get the rail. We can bring the uranium up with the rail and then just process all of it right here and have power that kind of extends that way and also this way. And we can start selling power that direction too. It will be very easy to hook up power to the rest of the grid because at this point our infrastructure for power will be extended out this way anyway. And so now getting it to the border is just going over this way. We'll actually create our own contract. So with the where is it? Over here. So with the research for this, which we've already done the one for I think both nations we've done anyway, haven't we? Looks like it. Or maybe it's this office. Okay, it's this office. So power grid connection, right? This research, we can only do it once. However, once we create that power grid connection, we have to do it again. This is a research project that you can repeat, and each time it's a contract to create a border connection. So we would want to do this to create a contract if we're going to. So I'm going to do that anyway, so we can sell power to the west, even though we really can't make it. But that's only good for one connection. We have to do that research over and over again to negotiate additional contracts if you want to do that. So it's kind of like a diplomatic thing. In a way, it's a political agreement, if you will. All right, so crops are now going to get pulled into here. That's pretty good. I want to say this is unspecified, so everybody should be working in both of these now. I want to increase how many people I bring here. So I definitely need some people brought here that are from maybe even Cernakova could do it, but I think these guys have enough workers now where they're all being pushed into here. And we might want to even reduce the number of people we have working in here. I don't know yet. I want to make sure we're processing all this hazardous waste. And this isn't building up that much. Like this is not burning up as much as I thought it would, right? So pretty good. And metal scrap is now getting consumed. There's that. And now we have our own created way of... This is the first time that we've been able to create our own steel. This is the first way of doing it. And that's awesome. We do need this to be... This could be a one-way. That could be a one-way. If we create aluminum, it'll go here too. This is a two-way. That's fine. And then that's two-way. Yep. These power poles are still not done. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I probably just forgot to click them, I guess. But can we get that? Same thing with this one. Can we... I mean, I guess we don't need it. We're chugging along with power as is, so maybe we don't need them. I feel like we will need them, though, once this comes online. And if everything is running at peak performance, then I think it still will be needed. Most of the aluminum scrap I think we're going to get isn't going to come from processing the other waste. It's going to come from the scrapyard. However, if we import hazardous waste, it'll have all sorts of things in it. So I'm going to go in and get an import route to import hazardous waste as well. And that'll help out too. So to do that, we're going to go over to my road depot here that I've got going on. Most of this stuff is sitting here so that I can like sculpt the land and everything, but I really don't need to do that anymore. And you're a refrigeration truck that I'm not sure what you're doing. Let's have you go... Can you work over here? I'm gonna have you go work over there, just bringing meat in. I don't know why you're here. I think I might have put you here to repair you, and now you're fully repaired. Because we're doing pretty good repairs over here now, too. Got steel delivered. Everything's good here, too. So I want to bring in waste trucks. We're going to use these. They are the biggest trucks for waste. We could do this with trains. And we may do this with trains, but it's really slow. As many people have pointed out to me, it's quite slow to do that. I think maybe we'll go with like the white cab with the brownish colored back part here. We'll go with just 2 trucks for now. What we're going to do with these 2 trucks is we're going to turn them around. We're going to come to the border. You're going to load hazardous waste. And you're going to take the hazardous waste and drop it off right here. Okay? That's what we're going to do with this truck. And then I'm going to have you, I think, wait until unloaded. Because if it ever does fill up, I don't want you going and getting more. Okay? I definitely don't want you to just buy hazardous waste and to just sit here with it. So we're going to have you do that. All right, so that's going to be your route. And then we're going to apply that route to the next truck just sitting right here waiting to leave. There we go. And then you are going to go and do that too. So let's just have you turn around, come back to the border, buy the waste, which you are not going to do right away because you need to get fuel. You know, should probably have kept the fuel station over here. At least, yeah, I guess I got rid of all of them, so I probably should have kept them. Looks like there's a little bit of a snippet of road here that's still there. Get rid of that. And this is all done as a roundabout now, so I guess we could probably go in and do our one-ways here because we have the roundabout completed. We'll just go ahead and do that. Here we go, and then all the way this direction like that, and then you can come all the way this way like that. All right, and then finally we'll do this. Get you like that, and you can go like that. All righty. Maybe we want this to be a gravel road, possibly, but I think probably getting these to be gravel is maybe a little bit more important, just to kind of start working these little snippets of road here. We'll do that next. Helicopters, I think we probably don't need these to be built right now. I think you have other things to do. We're going to suspend the construction on all of this. You have other more important things to do than to do this. I do want that. That's the distribution office. We can just cancel all this stuff. We don't need this stuff. And the farm is back up and running, which is great. It's May. I think there's enough time to farm potentially. So let's go in to get our tractors. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. I can't decide if I want to put covered hulls in here yet. If we can get that office done, that distribution office done, then I don't think we'll need them. So I think we'll take and do the full 6 here. And then we'll go into harvesting as well. So there we go. We're going to want to get the fuel rats to bring fuel to the farm again. That's not this one. It must be the other one. Yep, you guys. Although you were bringing fuel to these little free gas stations and stuff, I think I probably want it to just be brought directly. It's going to be better for it to be brought directly. So I think that is this one. Really? It's the other office? I could have swore it was. All right, well, whatever. Bring fuel directly to the farm. Yeah. And just keep it, I don't know, we'll say 40% full on fuel. And then we're going to want to have one of these trucks. I don't remember which one, but one of these trucks are supposed to be bringing fertilizer to the farm. And I'm not sure which one it was. Maybe it was one of you. Yeah, it's one of these trucks. I just don't remember which one. But one of these things had a route that was taking fertilizer over here to the farm. So I'll probably repurpose one of them. Maybe you. I think I can repurpose this one. So let's take you. A new stop will be the farm. You're going to unload your fertilizer here. And then you don't need to do that anymore. And then wait until unloaded on that. Okay, that works for me. You don't need to wait till loaded either. Just go. Get out of the way. All right. Actually, you do need to wait till loaded because that puts you on the right. That puts you on this. Yeah. I need you on the same route. But now there's only 2 of these taking it over there. And this is good, actually, because like we needed extra storage space for the fertilizer anyway. So now this thing can process. But it's arguing about mixed waste again, right? And it's that stupid thing again where it does not actually export mixed waste anywhere. So I'm going to need to, yeah, keep going with this dedicated little route here that one of these trucks are going to have. Is it you? No, I need one of you guys to do this. I need to sort my garbage trucks, man. There's just too many of them. That's why I like having them different colors and everything so I can tell what they're doing. I think I want you to just take this. Yeah, what are you doing with this biological? Oh, I get it. It's because, yeah, I get it. Okay, so let's do this. I'm just going to do this right now. We'll take vehicle right here. Garbage truck. One garbage truck to rule them all right here. Waste truck. I'm going to take it into, yeah, one of these dudes. Big. Let's do the big containers. Yeah. Let's do the one with the blue. So we'll do a blue one here. And you're going to come out of this, hopefully. I think you're sitting right there. Nope. All right, which one are you? Right there. Yep. This guy, you're going to take the mixed waste out of there. I have no idea why it doesn't actually utilize this like I have, but it doesn't. So you're going to take the waste, the mixed waste out of here, and you're going to bring it over here. And you'll just wait till unloaded for your mixed waste right there. All right. That's that truck's route. And then once it gets in there, all these garbage trucks you can see, like all these garbage trucks just have a lot of biological waste, but they can't dump it off. They can't drop it off. And so because they can't drop it off, they just go around in circles. They're just going around the roundabout and coming back in. Like it's not worth it, man. I mean, maybe they'll go and pick up some more somewhere else, but eventually they come back and they're leaving this location with biological waste like still in there, which eventually gets all the garbage trucks to be biological waste trucks. Not what I want. Not what I'm looking for. Definitely not what I want. Is it just workers here? Yeah, let's get let's start building this. I want to start getting the scrapper going. We're gonna need this done too. So we'll get some labor on that, and then we need some labor on that. And then how are we doing on this tunnel? We were doing well, and now it's just done. Did you stop auto searching it? Is that what happened? You should be able to get all these jobs. I mean, this is not out of range. You just don't seem to be interested in doing it all the time. I have to keep clicking it, which is a little sad. I'd like to not have to do that anymore. I got to get you in here. Tunnel boring machines. Yeah, it is building up. Maybe we'll take another garbage truck and start pulling it out of this. I think we're going to need the claw machine, unfortunately. We'll pull the one off of this. Have you get out of there. Demolition office. I can replace these two, but I'm going to actually pull both of these out of here. And then what I want you guys to do is to come over here, load up the mixed waste that's there, and bring it to this incinerator. It's not great. It's certainly not a great solution, but I'm going to have you do it anyway. And then we'll have you wait till loaded here too, actually. I'm pretty sure that's going to be very slow, but the question is it too slow? Like, is it slower than we're generating the waste? As long as we're pulling it out of there at the same speed that we're generating it, I'm okay with it. And 146 tons of steel in here. Look at that. That's sweet. And that's all steel we didn't have to pay for. Very cool. We could even go as far as to say, yeah, we got an opportunity here to maybe have like a distribution office bring that steel out of there and bring it over here for people to use it. There's open hulls here. So what I can do is I'm going to tell them they're already loading from this storage, which is kind of interesting. So I kind of maybe don't want that. Is there an open storage in one of these? I mean, there can be. I think it's a little too far away, though. We need another distribution office. Or maybe just to dedicate. One truck's probably enough here, right? I think one truck. This is like the indecisive episode. I did not anticipate that. I didn't plan for it that way. Oh, I have all of these. The T813s. I've got a bunch of these. Hang on. Let's put these to work. I got all over here. They're just sitting over here waiting for a perfect opportunity like this. I haven't put them to work yet. They're at 25% wear and tear already. That ended up being a terrible purchase. They were supposed to help me with stuff over here, but I just never really put them to work. So this is a perfect opportunity for one of these things. Let's go ahead and tell this to bring, in addition to helping to bring vehicles into the scrapper from the border when you're buying cars and stuff, but I don't think we're going to do that because it's not worth scrapping them. I don't think anyway. We are going to say that you go here and you're going to load steel, and you're going to come over here and unload the steel. Easy. That's it. Just the one vehicle that does it. They'll grab the steel from here and go. There might be a way to give it a little bit of a shorter route. This is until we have rail construction up, by the way. So if you're wondering if this was always the plan, it wasn't. Rail construction is supposed to do this, but I think I can get a shorter path by doing that. Otherwise, it's got to go all the way around to get into here. So hopefully that truck on its second trip, I guess, because first trips, I think the route's already laid in, but on its second trip, maybe it'll choose to use this back road right here. And speaking of this back road, maybe we make this gravel. I think it's going to be permanent enough of a road to make it gravel. There's a lot of like connection points here and the power and all that. So I'm thinking this is probably good to make a gravel road out of it. So we'll put you like that and like that. And then, yeah, all the way out. We'll just have this be like a gravel back road. I'm good with that. Here and then here. If nothing else, it might help the fire department to get to fires, potentially. There's just an awful lot of roads to do here, but road construction crews should be on auto search. They should be seeing this. They are. They're all leaving to go get the gravel right now. Cool. And then the helicopter office is on auto search as well. Yeah. So everybody's doing the things they're supposed to do. Okay. I got nothing else to do other than just to watch it all happen. Watch it all work. All right. You see hazardous waste is missing now. So we're going to have some mixed waste here. And it looks like that is just mixed waste. You didn't supposed to load the hazardous waste. So now you're not gonna... Huh? How did you do that? Can I discard that? Oh, you'll let me do that. That's cool. All right. I'm a little confused as to why you didn't bring hazardous waste. Maybe there isn't any? But if that was the case, then why not just load... Yeah, you're just getting this tiny amounts of mixed waste. Okay, so apparently you can't just bring in hazardous waste from the border. That doesn't work. Oh, that's a real shame. All right, it doesn't let you do that. That's unfortunate. Well, I'll put you guys back. Yeah, put you guys back in here. That's a shame. I thought we could do that, but I guess not. I will admit that a large percentage of this setup was dependent on us being able to bring in hazardous waste from the border and get paid for doing so. Like a large percentage. Like the reason why I set it up this way and starting with this building in the beginning of the chain was specifically for that reason. And so finding out that I can't do that really does hit pretty hard here. I'm hoping that that's not the case. So we'll have to take a look at it and keep an eye on it, I guess. I would like to destroy this end station. So I'm going to go into this route that's using it, and I'm going to take that stop out of here. And then we're going to destroy this. And we're going to build a bigger one. We're going to build it in the same spot, but we're going to build a bigger one. So demolition crews are going to come out and do that. Okay? And we are seeing... mixed waste still being brought over here. It should all be burnable stuff. I'm seeing some fertilizer in there. That's no good. It's just ash, though. I mean, I feel like you could burn fertilizer, right? Yeah, 30% of fertilizer. Okay. Processing efficiency, fair. So it's still going to end up being just ash, which is what I'm looking for. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to let it run a little while longer. I'm sorry. This episode went from... I was very composed to now kind of all over the place because there's just like these like little things that aren't done all over the place. Instead of having like one big thing, it's a bunch of little things all over the place. We might find value in having a few more people in prison. We might be able to extend the sentences a little bit longer here just to get more labor. This prison, we don't need as many warders as we have, so let's maybe bring this down to 5. We don't have anyone in there. Maybe I just destroy this. We'll mark it for demo and then pause it just in case I want to keep it. We'll mark it for demo, but that's going to mean that they're going to send them over to that prison now. We're doing really well in our court cases. I think the police were overloaded for a little while, but they're catching up. That's good. And then I've got the courthouse here just in case I need it. I've got it as paused, but we're not working there anymore. So this is the main courthouse. Everybody, all the trials come in with their carrier pigeons. They get here, they get decided, and that's it. Or serious crimes, I'm going to bump this up to 2.5. And I think for medium crimes, I can go 1.6 with this. So we're going to increase our sentencing a little bit there. And that's going to help us in getting more labor for the coal mine. All right. So we're just basically sourcing our labor for coal with criminals. Okay. That's how we're going to do it. And if we can get enough people consistently in there, then I can turn on this building and start getting this constructed. Because, you know, this building's getting pretty old. You know, so it's probably about time to take a look at it if we can. Is this helicopter done? It's at 24% wear and tear, and that might be all right. I'm going to take a look and see if I can get any more good deals on these helicopters. This is not the worst thing. The cargo helicopter, too. We're going to need more construction offices that do helicopters, so I might take this one, too, and fix it up. Yeah. Let's fix that one, too. I'm going to put you to work at 24%. We're going to bring you over and put you right... Where did that go? Over here. Put you right here. And then we need to buy some fire trucks here. I never did that. Let's go one. We'll get one that's really fast. Here we go. Get one of these. And then one that can have... I think that's probably good. Yeah. We'll just get a variety of different things there. And then, yeah, these things should just be auto-searching the fields. All right, so with these things out of the way... I can't believe I haven't done this yet. With this thing out of the way, we should now be able to bring this over. My God. Didn't I start the video with this? Didn't I say, hey, let's do this at the very start of the video? I'm apparently incredibly flighty today. All right, also, I had a comment about the azimuth here. I'm aware of this, okay? Like, to see what your curve is, right? So you can see the degree, the azimuth right there. This is like an indication of essentially the curvature of this track and whether it's straight or not, okay? But the problem with this, in going by this, is that you have to be over 1% for it to show anything. Okay, so if I want this to be completely straight with this track, I can go here, right? But look at this. It doesn't show me anything, and it's still not showing me anything. So there's a bunch of play right here. There's a whole bunch of play right there. And that may not seem like a whole lot, but when you go a really long distance, I mean, that's a lot of play. Like, that's a huge difference, right? And the longer you go, the more distance you cover, right? The more off that's going to be. So now we're going to look at 1 degree here. This is 90 degrees, but I don't think that's accurate. It's 1 degree off, basically. So to get it connected here, it's not a completely straight track, but it's good enough, right? And then we come all the way over and connect like so. Okay. So like you can see that, but when I'm making a fresh track, I like to look down, like I was saying before, look down the barrel of the gun because it gives me a preference. It gives me a reference, sorry, on how the edges of my existing track is. And then I can just match it up, like eyeball it nearby. And then I know it's completely straight. I don't need to go by the math on that because there's so much play in how that works. Okay, so get rid of these and you can build these tracks. Track builders, here you go. You probably aren't building that because it's already, started, and that's fine. We're gonna get the track builders to start on this as their big priority. I want a train. I want my train to go all the way. This is all one project, one big set of tracks until here. And then we get the crossing that's gonna happen later, but that's where I want this, right there. And this track is high priority. All right, so that's it. We'll just watch them do that now. Now, at the same time, we're also building this long train depot, which is fantastic news, because we're going to be able to then bring in our electric trains into here, drop them off into here, and then we can store them. We can bring anything we need for the crop trains on this. It's a completely separate set of tracks. And it's ruining my plans here for traffic management on this, right? So I really need to get rid of this crossing because it's not supposed to be there. And as soon as I do that, I won't have to tell these guys to ignore red lights and stuff anymore. So that'll be great. Okay, I've let it run for a short time here, and it's pretty clear to me that this is absolutely not going to work. So I think we should fix it now before it becomes a really big burden. We're going to go ahead and just let this train go back to the station. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to test and see just how fast, well, or I guess how slow how slow does waste load into trains? So we're gonna go over to the long train depot, and I am gonna say that I want to buy a new train, and I'm gonna take this DR Class V because I can just repurpose it after this test and put it into the distribution office. So we're gonna go ahead and buy another one of these. In fact, maybe I could get it used. I don't know. I got almost 4 million now, so like, I'm not sure if it matters, but you can try getting it used here. Diesel locomotive. And no, I think we're just gonna buy it new. That's fine. So we'll take this, buy this, and then what we want to do also here is in this area, we're gonna buy the waste trucks. Nope, not waste truck. We want the wagons, cargo wagons, and we were looking for the waste ones. So I don't know exactly which one that is. I haven't done it yet, but okay, it's one of these, looks like. So 37 tons in each one here. This does scrap and stuff, but what we're looking for is mixed waste capacity, okay? And that's this one here, it looks like. So I think that's it, yeah. So it doesn't really matter what color, I guess. So we'll buy like 1, 2, 3. Let's go 3 with these for now, just to see how that works out. And then what we'll do is we'll tell this thing to grab the stuff that's in there and take it to this depot. And then unload it. Whoops, oh, you're already going to the depot. Right, that's how that works, yep. Okay, the answer to the question is it's bad. It's pretty bad. It is absolutely slow. Chat's not lying to me. I mean, I didn't think you were lying. I just didn't know ahead of time before building it and designing it. But yeah, it's definitely not good. This is a problem we're going to have to try to figure out how to fix because we do not have the ability to load this very quickly to take it over to where it needs to go. So this is the burnable waste, right? It's all burnable stuff. It took a very long time to load, and now it's maxed out again. Even with the trucks coming in here, we can't keep up with it. The good news is that we've processed all the mixed waste here anyway. So now we only have to process the stuff that's kind of trickling in. And, you know, we have a couple of different sources here for that. So there's this. This dump is right here. So this is the dump we have to pay attention to right here. So we don't have all that much more to bring in. It's not capping out or anything, so it's technically fine, but still not great. So yeah, definitely need to redo this for sure. So I think what I want to do to redo this is, well, we need to figure out how all this is coming together. Maybe we can tear down the plastic waste storage, tear down this one, make it smaller, so it opens up for more room. If we because we're going to need to amend these plans for sure. Let's say we'll go to these. This is the spaces for open. These are open storage. They got a bit of a facelift since I got it too. So if we did a small one here instead, I'm wondering if it would be, if we're able to get it close enough, right? Because the factory connections have a minimum range. So I don't know if we can actually do that. We have plastic waste, of course, to bring in from other places too. But we need the 3 connections. So that's the 3 connections right there. I don't think we can stretch that far enough. So let's work within the confines of this area here. Probably have to tear this out of here. It's at 70%, so it's definitely being used. But if we can maybe we can reposition it to be, you know, sitting in here instead, as the same power lines are running through here. So if we can situate it here, that might be better. And then we'll need to have, we could have this feed directly into the incinerator instead of needing a storage ahead of time. So we could say that it incinerates to probably a small one. It can do 30 tons of mixed waste at maximum consumption. That's not that much. That's 30 tons per day. I'm pretty sure we're producing more than that. Yeah, we might not be able to burn this fast enough. You know what we probably need to do? It's expensive, but it might be worth it. very expensive solution. I think, I don't know if I have another solution though that goes with this. What I might need to do is to take this. Yeah, use this right here. And then the only way this would ever work is if I could have this. We don't need the factory connection because we're going to bring it in directly with the rail, just like we did this time. So we use one of these and we have the train come in directly and load it and unload it directly in here because supposedly it's faster here than it is to use this. This is all new to me, so I'm kind of learning it and unlearning it and relearning it with you guys. So the real question is, though, if I place this here, am I going to be able to get that rail over? And I don't think so. I don't think there's enough room for this. I think everything is just too condensed. So we might have a bit of a problem here. Consolation prize would be to just use a ton of trucks. And we can maybe have the incinerator be... I could maybe put the incinerator here. And then we just do a ton of trucks that can take it out of here with a claw arm and just bring it. And we just have them go back and forth like this. It's really not that clean, but there's room for an incinerator to be here. And, you know, they can still work there and everything. So, like, we could even have a powered one. I mean, that's what I wanted to do initially, right, was sell power. So we could even build another power one. Power plant one. It fits here. Barely. It fits here. Right? We just use that high voltage connection. And we bring it out. So, like, let's say I did something like... kind of being hypothetical here, but let's assume we do something like this. Okay, this can leave, right? Yep, it can. It can get out. Yep. So, like, we can get that out of here and hook it up to the power grid anyway. And then it just becomes a matter of, like, what about the ash, right? That's the other question, I guess. Can we fit something here for that ash? Just a small dump? Probably want a medium one. Yeah, not really. This is a problem I'm going to have to think about. My plan did not account for this being a really slow load and unload. I figured it would be no different than everything else when I planned this out a long time ago in the beta, right? So, going to have to think about this. If I need to reposition these buildings, it's expensive with demolition, but I mean, we just dump all the waste in here anyway, right? All the waste just ends up going in here and we process it. So we'll have to see. I'm going to leave it here because I have some thinking to do on this. So possibly, I don't know how long it's been, possibly a shorter episode today. I got to think about this. Definitely having problems that I did not anticipate having regarding that really small detail, which ends up having a big impact, unfortunately. We have this distribution office done. We have some small ones right there. There's another one being built right here, just in case you were wondering. We have another one being built right here. This is a medium one. All right, kind of spreading things out, small and mediums, because it's really all about the connections, not so much the vehicles. And so we can have, for example, these 5 trucks or these 5 trucks here. They'll just handle the little fields because they're going to be able to load and unload and move around a little bit faster. They can probably handle the little fields, while the big ones like these guys will handle the bigger fields. Over here, these guys can handle nothing, actually. That's fertilizing. We can have these guys. These are the medium one with lots of different trucks. They can handle all of these connections, and they'll, you know, just, we need a lot more connections because we have a lot of fields. So one distribution office isn't going to do it. You need a lot more. And so we have extra trucks here now. I can go in and get these going, and I want to see which ones these are. So I was using the LZ100 covered with trailer, 13 tons of crop capacity. I want to do the same thing with all of these. So covered hull, total capacity, it's this one, and I don't remember what it looked like. That looks pretty close. Doesn't that look close? Yeah, it's definitely this one. So we'll buy 5 of these, right? And then you just, from this office, we just add all of these offices. We add all these fields, right? These medium ones. And then we add that as the place you deliver it. Done, right? We could maybe even have you know, the farm itself too, but there's no reason to because they're putting it in here. So maybe we'll connect it just in case we can unload it in the farm, right? But we want to keep the grain storage at like 100%. And in the event that the grain storage is 100%, then we'll put some in the farm too. You know, something like that, I guess. So we'll have that going, and that means that these guys don't need to manage these anymore. So I can go in and say, you don't need to manage medium fields anymore. Let's get rid of all the medium fields, and now all you have are the big fields. And that's great. So now I can have more big fields managed by this distribution office like that, right? But there's still not enough, so we need even more. So we're going to have another one probably over here, and then, yeah, probably another one over here by this gas station. I like to put them next to the gas stations because then I don't need to provide fuel to this directly. They can just refuel really quick whenever they need it. That limits, you know, when you have limited fuel connections or limited distribution office connections, then it's, I think it's better to do it that way. That's it. That's it for now. So we're definitely have a bit of a bottleneck here, for sure. But I think now that we've processed all the waste, maybe it'll be okay. This train is still at the border. So it unloads incredibly slowly as well. Yeah, okay. That's not going to work then. We'll have to come up with another solution there for the waste and stuff. Okay? So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I'll think about this between now and the next video. If you have any ideas, please leave me a comment. And it's possible that I won't be able to record the next video for this until after I posted it. So I may not be ahead of you as much anymore. So we'll see. But definitely no need to have this many workers here because we just can't keep up with it anyway. So we'll go ahead and maybe like have 5 in here. Yeah, that way we can have less workers going that way. That means the buses can probably redirect because there's not enough reason for people to get on the buses now. So we'll probably redirect some of these buses. Instead of bringing workers here, we can bring them to the refinery instead maybe. Or we can bring them to clothing or whatever, right? So I'll think about all these things. There's a lot of little things that aren't very good right now that need looked at. So that's what I'll do between now and then, okay? Take it easy. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.